Hello, ladies, gentlemen. Though I can't find any lady here. I guess Olatunde Aluko. That should be a guy, right? We will soon commence the class for today, but in our usual format, are required to attempt a pre-quiz lecture. The, the scores of uh, your attempts will be shown on our dashboard. It will give us an idea of the style of discussion that we should have with you at the moment. But for some people, if you score 100, it means I don't need to even talk. I can just go home. But if you score something like 10, fine for me. Those are the kind of marks I want to see. 10, 20. It means that most likely whatever we discuss here would be meaningful to you. So I believe most of you have started the test already. So I will check the dashboard shortly and see your scores. Once you try the test, just click submit. We'll see it on the dashboard here. Then let's say by 10:20, I should commence my discussion. Thank you. Gentlemen, I can't find your responses at all. Um, Maybe you have not attempted the quiz. If you have any issue trying to attempt the quiz, let's know so that we can address it. Okay, I can still see attempts on the dashboard. All right, let's see how many of us are ready for this discussion. Let me see, they've just drawn my attention to one person. All right, let me peep at it. Okay, one person has attempted, well, but this is a rather high score. The person is asking me to go home and not bother with presentation. I was actually looking for someone that will score something like 10, 20, 30. Yeah, those are the kind of people I want. Uh, all right, what's there for today? We want to talk about feasibility study. We want to talk about business plan. Those are the two things we want to quickly talk about. These two things that we're discussing today, why do you think that we need to discuss them? After all, we are here to just see how we can assess the loan and go ahead with our business. So what's the purpose of us asking you to come and let's discuss feasibility study, let's discuss plan? As we go ahead, you might find out that there are reasons that you need to be careful with your business. You might also find out that there are things that you have not properly packaged and you could still go back. Or something that you have properly packaged. This particular session is just going to buttress the fact or give you the confidence that you have actually done well. Another reason why we try to discuss this thing is the purpose of this is not just for the loan that you're trying to assess. We have a feeling that your business can grow big. And once your business grows big, it also means that you will be needing all these preliminaries again to access loan. Everybody needs loan at every time. We all agree that Dangote is the richest man in Africa, and his net worth is somewhere around 10 or below $10 billion. All right, but yet he has started a project that is about $15 billion. That's the refinery, the fertilizer plant, and all of that. You will obviously know that if he sells all his products, right, sell all his assets, he won't still be able to start the refinery. He needs funding. He needs people to fund him, and because he needs people to fund his business, he will also need to do a feasibility study. He will also need to do a business plan. For something like a refinery in a country like Nigeria, I don't need to pray about it. You don't even need to go into detailed feasibility study to know that we do need that, because for now we are still a net importer, right? We import crude, refined crude products. So of course, if you can set up a refinery here, there won't be need for such importation. All right, that being said, let's go into what we have for you today. At this stage, we are developing our medium and small scale. Some of you are into small scale, some of you are into medium scale. Some of you are starting afresh, and some of you are already in business. We just want to discuss things surrounding them. So this is module 2. You have dealt with module 1 yesterday. We should have gingered you up to help you understand that you're an entrepreneur and that who an entrepreneur is and what you need to know about it and what similar people, like-minded people like you have been able to do. Right, but today we want to talk about, once you have your idea already, what do you do about this idea? There are two things you do about the idea. The first is to study the idea. That's what we do under feasibility study. And then afterwards, we expect that you are going to set out a plan for how you're going to kickroll the business. So like I always try to bring an analogy. A common analogy is like if you want to build your home and you go search out a piece of land, you're just doing a feasibility study. You want to find out if you can put up a building there, if you can do, if the place is going to be reasonable and all of that. That is still at the business, at the feasibility study. Now, the business plan will now be more or less like your architectural plan, right? The architectural plan is going to specify how many rooms you're going to put up, how many floors you're going to put up, and where your gate is going to face and all of that. So these are the two things that we want to talk about today as far as business is concerned. All right, so the I will start right away, but I'll still go and look at the dashboard. I mean, our dashboard to see the scores there if anyone else has attempted the questions there. All right. I heard that one more person has attempted. Let me just peep at the score to see if okay, no, not any additional person. It's just the same one person that has attempted. Okay, let's roll. Section 1, this is feasibility study. Then section 2 is um, business plan. What we are doing for this particular presentation, feel free to send your reaction to the chat. I'm sure most of you are used to how to use the Zoom now. You go to where the chat is, you write, type it, and then send in a question, send in your observation, send in what you want me to repeat again, or anything that you consider I have not addressed, right? You go ahead and then put it in again so that I will see it, I will immediately react to it. Because if we unmute people, some people's environment are not comfortable, it's so noisy, it's going to disturb the whole discussion. So that's why we're not unmuting people. So that's the first rule. The second ground rule is that this particular presentation, and that of yesterday, it will be on our YouTube channel. Right? If you go to Cedron Nigeria Limited, you type the topic you want to listen to. If you want to listen to feasibility study, if you want to listen to entrepreneurship, or the topics that will be coming up tomorrow, like bookkeeping, financial planning, you just type it, and it's going to come up. And it's going to come up, right? So, all right. So, well, I've seen another score. Okay, I've seen another score. This score, yes, this is the kind of score I'm looking for. It's saying that I should stay. All right, now I'm excited about staying. Now that I'm seeing scores like this, meaning the person wants me to really discuss. Okay. What was I saying? I was talking about your access to this particular class. You can go back to YouTube channel. You play it over and over again to listen to whatever you have missed in this class. And this particular Zoom gives the opportunity for us to interact immediately and ask questions. So the YouTube might not give you that. Then after this section, we are going to share with you this particular slide presentation, which is supposed to be like your note so that you can refer to it if you need any clarification on it. So these are the three things that we have arranged on ground for this particular training session. Okay, what we have for feasibility study. In the sense that I want to get their filler, I will ask them to write in their own words what feasibility study is, whatever they think it is. As in, if somebody is asking them such question, what is the answer they are going to give the person? I expect them to write. Then I sometimes ask them differentiate between a feasibility study and a business plan. So I just want to know whether there is a difference between these two. And then number three, I try to test the class to see if we really understand the reason why we should do feasibility study. But let's not go into that anymore. Let's proceed into the four things that I want to discuss under this section. The first topic is we want to see, let's try to define what feasibility study is. And after attempting to define what feasibility study is, we will also try to give the variables of a feasible business. Note that this particular section is not the academic type that you see big words. What we are doing here is essentially trying to relate to your business. So when your business, the feasible business, is doing well, is thriving well, how do you know your business is thriving well? I'm going to give those conditions on that topic one. Topic two, let's look at the objectives, the importance, and then the shortcoming of feasibility study. And three, I'm going to give you a very short advice, very short advice on how to go about the feasibility study. Then number four, we want to see the components of a feasibility study report. You know, when you have done a feasibility study, we expect to draft it down into a report. You don't just do a feasibility study and keep it in your head. If you keep it in your head, you could forget. If you keep it in your head, nobody knows if you have done anything. If you keep it in your head, what if someone demands that let's see your feasibility, go through it and know whether and know if it's fine or it meets standards. So we'll put requirements, the minimum things that we'll see in a feasibility study. These components also help you in designing your questionnaire or your action plan, or let me put it, your plan when you are going to do your feasibility study in the field. Like if you want to go out to do the marketing aspect of it, you will design certain questions that you need to ask, certain places that you need to go, or what you need to research on the internet. So that those components will help you direct you properly, so that you don't miss out on on anything that you needed to have done for your feasibility study to be relatively encompassing. All right, gentlemen, let's start the first. By the way, I keep saying gentlemen. Do we have any lady in the class? Like my class with ladies, I don't want to discuss when we only have guys in the class. Let me see if there are ladies in the class. Can they indicate in the chat? Um, just tell me we are here or I'm here. I don't want to talk to only men. I'm already a guy, so why should I talk to only guys? Hmm? I don't know, or the guys don't even agree with me. All right, let me see. I can see something in the chat now. Do I have? Oh, great. Yes, interesting. Yes, at least I have a lady in the class. Joy is here. Welcome. Okay, good. All right, so lady or ladies and gentlemen, let's begin the day. The day is starting with feasibility study. So when you say feasibility study, what's a feasibility study? There are three words that we use to describe what a feasibility study is. Recall I said that our discussion is more or less practical oriented. It means we're not here to puncture meanings of the words that we're giving here. What we are trying to do here is to be a little bit more descriptive, not to give something normative, not to give a standard. We're trying to um, we're trying to describe what it is as it relates to us in business, not as it relates to them in the academics. You know, academics, they're going to give you a whole page or write a whole book on what feasibility study is. But here, do we know what a feasibility study is? Now, for you to define what a feasibility study is, you need three keywords. The first thing is an idea. It's about an idea. And then it's also about an analysis of this idea. What are you analyzing for? You're analyzing to check whether it is viable. That's all. Nothing more. To put the sentence in another way, we'll say it's an analysis of the viability of an idea. Can you see my full stop on the screen? Yeah, see it there, full stop. It's an analysis of the viability of an idea. Is the idea viable? How do we do some of this analysis? Okay, let me put a question to you in the class now. If I want to make a machine that helps me, that can feed people, right? You put it on the desk and then you sit at your dining and it serves food into before you, so that you just you extend your face and then you eat out of it. You see that would be a great machine, right? But will people buy? So if we want to analyze that idea, one of the analysis we'll do is one of them, just one of the analysis is first to say, do people want to eat with their hands or calories, or people wouldn't mind using the machine? So let me get your reaction. Let's do a feasibility study on this machine. So in the chat, answer me. Would you want to be fed by a machine if you are full, fine, healthy, or you prefer to use your hands or calories? Which do you want? Let me see your reactions. And let me go to the chat and see what you're saying. I know that the chat is going to take time to come up, but the internet is fair, so I'll see your chat shortly. All right, let me click on it and see your responses. Okay, I'm waiting. All right, I would prefer to use my hands and eat instead of using machine. Okay, another person said I would prefer calories on my hands. The person is even adding serve, trying to say, please don't even bring the machine. So the person is saying I shouldn't go ahead with trying to make any machine and sell. It means it won't sell. All right, so I have taken a poll now, a short poll of 2 people who have said I shouldn't bother going ahead and they are not going to buy. That's an analysis already. So from this analysis, what we can see now is that this machine may likely not be viable, may not be viable for us at all. All right, let's go ahead again in trying to define what this is. We say, if you look at the last bullet point, we say it looks at the viability of an idea, that's a feasibility study, with an emphasis on identifying potential problems, an attempt to answer one main question: will the idea work, and should we proceed with it? One of the questions that we could ask ourselves is, how will this machine work? Is it going to work? Is it when we plug it to our socket, it's going to work? I know someone is going to ask me now that, okay, if you want to eat and there is no power supply, what do? You go hungry. All right, we can now come up and say, okay, we have identified a potential problem. A potential problem with the machine is that you might want to eat and there is no power supply. So what do we do? All right, what if we put a battery? Okay, so we'll go ahead and put a battery. Will it increase the cost? Maybe it will increase the cost, right? And all of those issues. If it increases the cost, will people still want to buy? What is a reasonable price? All of this we're doing is we're analyzing one idea, machine that can feed people. You see, we are trying to identify the problems, the potential problem, and then at the end of the day, we have done the first analysis. Will people want to eat with their hand or the machine? We have done another analysis. Would somebody want to pick up, would somebody, what if it uses light and then, power, and then there's no power? We say, okay, can we put battery? Then we answer the last question. You can see, can you see it on the screen there? The last question says, will the idea work, and should you proceed with it? For most of you that have said you don't want to eat with machine, you don't want to be fed with machine, it means the idea is not going to work and we should not proceed with it. So you teach it immediately. That's essentially what feasibility study is. Okay, I need you to note something, right? Just let's note something anytime we're talking about feasibility study. Well, let me see. Should we note those stuff? Yes. No. Okay, before we note those things, what do I do? What do I do? All right, before we note those things, because they are in the other slide, let's look at what a feasible business is, right? You know, it's important feasible business because one, if the business is running properly, we should be able to say this business is running properly. So these are some of the conditions. The first one, can it generate adequate cash flow and profit? Two things are there. Can it generate adequate cash flow and profit? Right. The next one is it will encounter. That is line in green. You can see that there are two wheels there. The first wheel here, and then another wheel here. When you have two wheel like this, it means that you're definitely going to get this thing is going to definitely occur, meaning that risk is going to definitely occur. Risk is all probability. Probably that something will happen this way or that way. So there will definitely be probability. That's part of life. And when these things occur, when an event occurs, whether favorable or unfavorable, will the business withstand it? If it can, then it's a feasible business. The other one is, will it remain viable in the long term? Right. The common example I give is using this issue of the pandemic now, the COVID-19. Some people are making good money out of it, making masks and all that, and making sanitizers. Will their business remain viable in the long term? What if they bring a solution or we get vaccine that will deal with COVID-19? You will see that that business might not be viable for a long time. Then it's not necessarily a very, very feasible business, except your model is different. You know, some people use the model of short term, right? Like they go into the business of alleviating COVID-19 issue. They go into the business of when there's fuel scarcity, they go into the business of supplying fuel. When there's that's their model, and for that is a long term. So all they do each time they keep looking for quick businesses that are short lived. So that's the model. In that case, they may remain viable as a model. The last one doesn't mean the goals of the founder. Right, the first one, what's the difference between cash flow and profit? Can someone tell me what the difference between cash flow and profit? When we say there's cash flow, when we say there's profit, what could be the difference between these two? Write it in the chat for me, and then I will quickly tell you a short story. I'll tell you a short story. Okay, let me go ahead with my story. Maybe by then you'll be able to tell me the difference between cash flow and profit. We have two people, Chinemerem. Is that it? Yes, I think I pronounced it well. And then we have Joy. Two of them went out, decided to sell orange, right? They bought orange, 10 orange for 10 naira each. And that's 100 naira, right? Both of them spent 100 naira. And then they go out again, decide to sell this orange after peeling it and all of that. Chinemerem sold her orange for 100 naira each. So she sold all the 10, giving her what? 10 times 100, that's 1,000 naira. And then recall she bought them for 100. So what's her profit? Her profit be 1,000 that she sold minus the 100 she bought, that's 900. All right, how about Joy? What did Joy do? Joy went ahead to sell her own orange for 200 for one. And so what did she sell for? That's 200 times 10 oranges. That's 2,000 minus 100 that she bought them. That's what 2,000. Sorry, 1,009 profit. All right, you can see that Chinemere made 900 naira. Why Joy made profit of what 1,900? There's something I didn't tell you about the two of them. They have two different business models. The Chinemere business model is that she only sells for cash. You pay now. Whereas Joy said you can pay later. And so at the end of the day, Joy has no money on her, right? But she has a profit of 1,009, whereas Chinemerem has 1,000 on her and a profit of what? 900. All right, so you can see that one of them has cash flow, which is Chinemerem, and then the other person has profit, more profit, that is Joy. That's the difference between cash flow and profit. Let me see whose model will you prefer. Let me even look at your chart now. As people have started talking to me, let me see which model they prefer. All right, cash flow, the ability to assess fund. Profit is the money you made after sales. Great. Cash flow is money available for running the business. Profit is money earned from the business. Yes, welcome, Buhari, who just joined us now. Thank you for that definition. So which of this model will you prefer? Would you prefer Chinemerem's model or Joy's model? Let's hear your stand. As you respond, I can now go ahead to explain some of the things that we should note anytime we're discussing feasibility. Which model will you prefer? All right, the things to note. We say anybody with a business idea should conduct a feasibility study. This is almost like, you have sometimes we say commandments and all that, or recommendation or do's and don'ts of business. The do's and don'ts of business is one, once you have an idea, first and foremost, just go ahead and do a feasibility study, period. What are you doing it for? To determine the viability of the idea before proceeding with developing the whole business. That's the essence of feasibility study. That's the first thing you should know. So anytime someone will ask you again, I have an idea, just say, please go and do your feasibility study. Period. Don't discuss with the person. Say, let me see your feasibility study. Some people get angry that you think I'm not bright or you think my idea is not great. No, it's not about your idea is not great. We want you to identify potential problems and how you intend to solve them, because most business will always have what potential problems. All right, some of the things to note, like we say, that's the first one. Then the second one is feasibility study address things like where, how the business will operate. So where will the business operate and how will it operate? This question is like, if you want to go into farming, where will you want your business to operate? Will you want it to operate in the urban area, like using undeveloped lands in Abuja city center? Or you want to go to the suburb, Gwagwalada, Kwali, Kuje, or some of these other areas to look for land for your farm? You need to do a feasibility study to determine some of these things. If you want to farm in the middle of the town, you're going to assess buyers easily, because you don't have competitors plenty around. So once you harvest, you take it to the market or you take it to taco market, wholesale market, and somebody's going to buy it right away. And then there are a number of people that are ready to buy because the farmers around here are not many in number. That makes the idea great, but can you beat some of the regulations? Are you allowed to farm on uncultivated on an undeveloped plot? What if the person comes all of a sudden and say wants to develop and all of that? Those are issues. So that's why we do a feasibility on that. Next point is it gives an in-depth details about the business. That's why we say anybody comes to you and say he wants to do business. What do you do first? You take the person away and say, go and do a feasibility study. Why? You're asking for in-depth detail. You're not, you're it's just like saying, I want to make face masks because people are buying face masks now. You've not done anything. I want to go and sell water because this season is dry. People are going to be thirsty. It's not, you've not answered me. Where will you sell this water? Where will you get this water from? What are you going to make this water yourself? Are you going to chill this water? Where will you get a chiller for it? All that you need to give it to us in the feasibility study. Another point is that's number 3. We say it serves as a valuable tool for developing a winning business plan, meaning the business plan sits on it. If you do a good feasibility study, your business plan is going to be a workable. Or if not, otherwise you will be struggling with trying to think, oh, what's the issue here? What should I bring in? And all of that. Okay, the last thing to note is feasibility study can be used in many ways, but primarily what to focus on the proposed business. Okay, I think I can go to the next thing now, which is we're done with number 1 item. Our number 1 item is to know what a feasible business is to also know what feasibility study is, and then some things to note. Let me see. I've gotten before I go into the objectives, shortcomings that we have noticed with feasibility studies from people, and the importance. Let me see. I think I have some reactions in the chat. Let me see. Okay, somebody is saying something. Okay. Um, someone is saying that I said, do they prefer Joy or Chinemerem? He said Joy, no credit sale. I don't know if she's saying he prefers Joy. Okay, the next person said I would prefer Chinemerem's with available profit at hand. Okay. Oh, Joy is even saying she prefers Chinemerem's model. I thought she would choose her own model. All right, that's okay. All right, let's look at the next item here. What's the objective? Why are you even doing a feasibility? Why do you want to do a feasibility? It's simple, it's straight. There's nothing there. First is who want to raise fund? No long discussion. So that's one of it. You want to raise fund. That's why you do a feasibility study. Otherwise, you can go ahead. If all the money is your own, you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do. If you lose the money, sorry about it. If you don't and it progresses and the business is a great deal, fine, you're lucky. If you meet portals, you have extra money, you deal with it, fine. But if you're going to raise funds from family, friends, bank, investors, they will surely ask you for uh, a feasibility study. They are not Christmas fathers, or how do you describe that? I mean, people that give free things. They are not there. Even charity organizations don't ask you feasibility study because they don't want to just throw around the cash. Number 2, optimum facility mix that can maximize your revenue. What are we saying here? We're saying the first thing is what's facility. So we already know the meaning of optimum. So we want to know what facility is. Facility in this case is your capacity, is your asset, is your item, is what you have on ground, your machines, even the people, all of them combined together is what we're trying to describe as facility or your factory setup, the whole thing there. So how do you mix all these things that work together for you to get the maximum revenue? Feasibility study will help you. Okay, look at the example that I gave in the other class. I said, okay, you go to a rural area, you do your study, you notice that 10 people use the bike daily to go to a nearby village. So they charge them around 1,000 naira for a trip. So you want to say, okay, let's get 10 bikes, right? But we're saying that why do you want to get 10 bikes? You do a feasibility study and you check out that these 10 people that leave this village every day, they don't live at the same time. Maybe they live at this average of 1 hour in between. So what do you need? You don't need just need you need two bikes. Two bikes will do. And the first bike is going to take the first person to the other nearby, and then within bike to be back. If that bike is not back, the second bike should be able to go. So you are going to use two bikes to get money from 10 people instead of getting 10 bikes to get money from 10 people. That's what we are saying on that optimum facility mix that will help you maximize revenue. Another point, it ensures that all parties agree to the key element. There are parties to your business, maybe person funding you, even a partner, even a whole lot of people could be there in your business. All of them, if they are key stakeholders, they must agree to the elements of the project. If it's a very big business, right? Big that will affect the community has to agree that you set up that factory there. Okay. The next point is it helps us get form the basis for initial market and project planning. What are we saying initial market and project planning? Initial market. Anytime we talk about market throughout this module today, we are referring to the number of people that will buy from you. Let me repeat it again. We are referring to the number of people that will buy from you. So if I want you to reframe this sentence, I'll say number of people that will buy from you. If it helps you form a basis of the number of people that will buy from you. That's all we're saying. So that once you know that, okay, 10 people are going to buy from me, then you plan along with 10 people. If you know that, okay, you likely sell to around 100,000 people, then you plan along that line. How do you know if only 10 people buy or if only 100,000 people? From your feasibility study. Right, then the last point here, I think I've mentioned these 4 points would have been okay for me. Raise funds, optimum facility means, agree all parties to it, and then initial market planning. I would have just stopped at this 4, but if I stop at this 4, there's something that would have been missing. You see, sometimes feasibility study is used to when you want to develop business, but at other times, it will help you to know whether to close a business. If you look carefully, you'll see some people sometimes they'll quit a particular business, they'll say, I'm not doing again. They come back again 2, 3 years later and find out that someone is doing that business and the person is doing well. So what did the person miss? What we're saying here is that the person missed a feasibility study that will give the person an argument whether to close the business. If you do a feasibility study, that feasibility study will tell you whether you should close the business or you should still remain or hold on. Like if I want to go into the business of cassettes, cassettes, CD. I want to record cassettes for people, or I want to be buying CD and selling CD. You know that it will not sell anymore. People don't use CDs anymore. They put their movies in flash. They some of them even use what they say Netflix or so. You pay and then you watch directly. Not this one you. So you say that business is not going to. So if my business is selling of CD movies and CDs and all of that, if I do a feasibility study to tell me that go ahead and close that business, there's no 3 years to come that you see any other person in that business. All right, so that's the objective of a feasibility study. Let's quickly look at the common shortcomings that were noticed from people's feasibility study. Why are we discussing these shortcomings? We're discussing them because we need you to watch out for them when you are in the field. All right, the first one is that overestimated, what we call overestimated market potential. What did I say market is? I said throughout this discussion, whenever I say market, I'm referring to something. What did I say? For those of you that can still recall, let me test whether some of you are following. The interesting thing about Zoom class sometimes is that some people turn off their camera and then they go cook or they go listen to their music or something else and then leave the class. But let me see the number of those that are in class actually. What did I say market is? Let me see your answer in the chat. I'm whispering it so that those of them not listening properly, they will not run back and say, I don't know, we're in class. All right, somebody has answered me. Let me see the person's answer. Let me see. Market means people that will buy from you. Great. Yes. All right. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'm being followed. So overestimated market potential, we are saying that overestimated number of people that could likely buy from you. So that's one of the shortcomings. Sometimes people think that, oh, 100,000 people are going to buy from me. Meanwhile, only 4 people are going to buy. Let me make that error. Let me give you an example of how they make that error. One of the ways they make that error, okay, I'm getting responses. Market, okay. Akman Joy said, number of people that will buy from you. Yes. Latunde, market those that will buy. Yes. Buhari, market the potential people that will buy. Yes. All right. Okay, so back to the shortcomings that we say we've noticed. We say overestimated market potential, meaning that overestimated number of people that will buy from you. How does that happen? The common example I could give is somebody can say, oh, in Abuja now we have about 5 million people. All right. Let me go into making of water, sachet water. If I make sachet water and I sell to 5 million people, I'm going to get, and I make profit of 1 naira each month from them. Wow. 5 million people times 1 naira. That means I'm getting 5 million naira every month as profit. That will go into my pocket. Hey, hold on. Some questions have to be answered. Who told you everybody's going to buy your water? Who also told you that you'll be able to go everywhere to sell your water? So if you are using your estimate, the estimate of 5 million or thereabout that live in Abuja or drink your water because everybody needs water, you may have overestimated the market potential. That takes me to the next point. If you see my screen, it's written there underestimated competition, right? That's what we have there, underestimated competition. What are we trying to say there? We're saying that you could assume that nobody is selling water again. That's what you are invariably saying. As you start selling water, some people see that hey, people they are drinking his water. Somebody will go back there and start buying your water. So you have an estimated competition. So anytime you are doing your feasibility study, what we're saying is that come in and recognize competitors. The next point is plant capacity not compatible with market size. Plant capacity not compatible. Okay, we say market size number of those that will buy from you, right? Or market the number of people that are buying from you. Right? If take it for granted, we agree that 5 million people drink your water. You have the machine on ground to make 5 million sachet water per month. That's the question. So sometimes you'll be planning, you plan for 1 million sachet water per month. Meanwhile, the market size is 5 million. So those are some shortcomings that we've noticed. Then the other one is underestimated importance of management and manpower skill. This one I don't even know how to explain it or to discuss. Don't know what to discuss. People just underestimate management. Okay, let me tell you one story. But somebody is saying I'm telling too much story. Let me see. Okay, I can't see your face. Well, let me see tell you maybe to help me illustrate this point. Somebody entered a particular shop where they sell parrots, and then you touch the first parrot, and then they say 10,000 naira. Say 10,000 naira. It's because this parrot is in a cage. Why selling parrot for 10,000 naira? He said, no. Other people sell parrot 2,000, 1,000, but this parrot that I'm selling can operate a computer. The person say, wow, interesting. Okay, how about this? So the second one. I say, oh no, that one is 20,000, please. Parrot 20,000. Yeah, sure. Okay, if this parrot is 20,000, what can you do? Can you even operate computer? I know he said that one can write programs, computer programs. That's why it's 20,000. So as he was thinking about what parrot should I get? Should I go for the parrots that are 100, 500 naira, or 1,000 or 500, or I should close my eyes and buy any of these ones? And he observed that he saw another one placed high up somewhere else, kept far away from the other one. He said, how about that one? He said that parrot, okay, that parrot is a 100,000. The man in the shop couldn't help. He just shouted, "What? 100,000 naira for a parrot, a bird?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Okay, let me know what can this one do." So the seller now whispered and said, honestly, I don't know what that one can. You know what? This other two This one and this one, this 10,000 and this 20,000. They call that one boss. So did you get my story? They refer to that one as their boss. And we don't know. Some of you are bosses in your office. We don't even know why they call you boss. What are you doing? You don't even do any work. You don't work with us in the factory. You don't do anything. What do you do? In fact, we are the ones that greet you in the morning. You don't even answer sometimes. You answer. You go into your office, you put on your air conditioner. So what do you do? Who can help me answer that question? What do they do? All right, okay. Where is reacting to my story? Okay, so I have tried to describe what the importance of management. They are there with their presence. Sometimes the presence of management alone gives order to things, and so you shouldn't underestimate it. Sometimes they have skills that you don't have. You will think that you are a marketer, you are great, you know everything, or you are a production manager, you know everything. But management is ability to combine all of these things and get them to work together. So that's why you don't see what they're. Okay, then the next one is market projection is based on insufficient data. That's closely related to overestimated market potential. Then the last point here is overestimated availability of infrastructure and other local services. Yes, some of you going into farming, sometimes you overestimate availability of infrastructure. You go get one big land, 20 hectares, 30 hectares in the somewhere far away into the bush, and then you cultivate. There are problems there automatically. How do you move those things from there? There are no roads. Okay, let's take it for granted. There are roads, so some people put it on their head and take it to the town for you. Now, if they bring all of them to the town, do you have a warehouse to keep all of this stuff? So you see, sometimes people just overestimate that, okay, they are going to get warehouse to keep all this. It's when you go out and decide to start looking for warehouse, you now see that these things are not really available. So that's some of the shortcomings we notice with some of the studies. Let's quickly look at the importance of why we do feasibility study. Oh, let me see. Somebody's reacting here. All right. Okay, thank you, Matthew. Matthew's been following me. Thank you so much. All right, importance of what? Importance of a feasibility study. Why is it important for you to do feasibility study? For since we've been talking all day, most of the time some of you would have started picking the importance. So I could even go ahead and skip this one. So, but if I don't want to skip it, let me list out what we have written on the screen here. We say it lists in details all the things you need to make the business work. What do you need for the business to work? You know, when we're going to manufacture feeding machine, it's just an idea. What will make this feeding machine work? We need a place, we need a factory, we need how to source raw material and all that. It is a feasibility study going to give us all of that. And then, like I said, importance logistical, it can identify logistical and other business-related problems and solutions. For farming, one of the related logistical problem is where do you store these things? You have harvested, where do you store them? And after storing them, how do you move them from there to the market? These are problems. And so your feasibility study is going to bring out those problems. It's also going to suggest solutions to the problems. So that's why feasibility study is important. The next point, it will help you develop marketing strategy. How do you approach strategy is how do you do things you do? That's almost strategy. What's the special way you want to do what you want to do? That's what we refer to as marketing strategy. So it will help you develop your marketing strategy. Like, let me give you, okay, if I say, how do you approach people that are between the ages of 15 and 25? You see that all of them are looking at their phones, they're carrying their phones. I don't even know whether they greet anybody again. Or maybe, so if somebody is all looking at his phone throughout the day, right? How do you want to assess the person? Then the best way to talk to the person is to greet the person through text message. That's how you get the person's attention. So that's the marketing strategy we're talking about. We develop such marketing strategy. If all these people are looking at their phones all day, then we talk to them through the phones. That's when they're going to listen to us. So you develop your product. You try to sell your product through online business if you are addressing the age that are always looking at the screen. But if it is people that are around 70, people that are around 75, they don't always look at their screen. Some of them read newspapers in the evening. So how do you reach out to those people? That's you pass through the newspaper, or you pass through the radio, or you pass through they listen to, they say network news at 9, right? I think that's where people 70, 75, that's the time they listen to news. So that's the time you can reach them. If not, if you want to reach those that are young, 15, 16, you want to reach them, no, they have their news right live on their phones. They don't need to wait till 9 p.m. news. The last point is it serves as a solid foundation for developing your business plan. That we've repeated that over and over. Okay, great. Now let's me go into the advice that I said I have for you. We have looked at the first two topics, what feasibility study, what feasible business is, and important things to note. We have also looked at important, objective, and shortcomings associated with it. Let me give you a short advice when you go and do your feasibility study. All right, before you begin writing your feasibility study, what we say? We say how, where, and whom you intend to sell your service or product to. All right, let's take it again. They're all in red here. Identify how. I just how. So tell me how you want to sell to oh, somebody's in the class now. Hamadu Christie. Okay, welcome. You're welcome to the class. Yes, we have been talking, we've been chatting, and then we react using the chat. Okay, so the question goes to everyone: how do you intend to sell your service to people? Okay, let's say, how do you intend to sell your service or to someone that is between the age of 15 and 20? You tell me, or you tell me how you want to sell your product to somebody that is between the age of 70 and 80. So there are two different approaches. I just mentioned it. Okay, then the other one is where. Where do you sell it? Do you go to the market? Do you go to wholesale? Do you go to Next Cash and Carry? Where do you want to sell it? Or you go online? Where? Okay, whom do you intend to sell your service to? Whom is very, very critical because one, you want to sell eyeglasses, right? Who needs eyeglasses? Who needs eyeglasses more? People that are young or people that are between 70? All of them need eyeglasses, right? Is that what you're saying in your mind? I didn't see it in the chat, right? If we say all of them need eyeglasses, then we need to design eyeglasses for specific use. You will notice that the those are how they call it, youths that are moving up and down in the sun that have all the strength. You know those ones will need sunshade. So you get them dark glasses. Then you know that the people that are 70, 80, some of them that want to read, their eyesight will need to be assisted. So you give them medicated glasses, right? So whom do you intend to sell your product? So what's your product? If your product is dark eyeglasses, you don't go sell to old people. If your product is medicated eyeglasses, you don't go sell to young people, right? Okay, the next point here. Assess your competition. We've mentioned that before. It's important. Assess your competition. Your competitors might be better at something than you. They might have people that have studied the market better. They might be living in that area longer than you are. You have. You know, you could come to a place and you're doing your business. You wouldn't even know that there are people that have studied the environment year in, year out. They understand the weather better. These are your competitors. So you want to come in without those knowledge, you will need to study those their strength. We call it strength. You also need to study maybe their process. Sometimes it's even the equipment that they have. They have serious equipment than other people. Okay, and then if we also say, oh, someone is writing on my screen. Ah, do we have kids here? No, 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 no. Okay, I'm going to delete what they are written on my screen. Okay. The last one is figure out how much money you need to start your business. There are two things here. Look this sentence carefully. Figure out how much money you need to start your business and then keep it running until it's established. So there are two kinds of money you need here. You need the one that you start the business. That's buy asset or rent the place. But there's another one you need to keep the business running. You need to buy raw materials. You need to pay salaries of people that will hire that come to do some work. These two amounts of money is what you need to start the business running. It's not just one of them. You need the two of them. And so some people will go ahead and just calculate only the one that they need for the business and forget that, oh, they need small money again to get the business moving until the business is established. The business will take some time to be established before you make enough sales that you can use that same money to be running the business. All right. Another thing to note, right? Or let me say another advice is we call it what? Pre-feasibility study. Pre-feasibility study. As the word goes, pre-feasibility study is we are saying before you proceed with a full-blown feasibility study, you may want to do some pre-feasibility analysis of your own. Please and please and please, is an advice. We always ask you to go and do this pre-feasibility study. How do you do pre-feasibility study? Some of them can be done on the internet. Some of them you can just pick your phone and ask people questions around. You are doing pre-feasibility study. The full-blown one, you will go out, you hire people, you won't give people money to answer questionnaires for you, or you beg people, you give people to administer questionnaires for you. You even go around. Some feasibility study even will take you 2 months, 3 months, because you need to stay in a particular position and watch the trend of it. So we are saying before you spend all this time, all this money, all this energy, do a pre-feasibility study. That's what we're saying. That's the advice we're saying. And then if you look at my last paragraph here, I say a consultant may help you with the pre-feasibility study. But even if a consultant is involved, what you should do is that use the opportunity to stay with the person and understand some of the business issues. So that when you go into a full-blown one, you would have noticed some of those things. You would have noticed some of those things. So that's when you go into a full-blown one. Note also that when you are doing pre-feasibility study, you also be able to bring out relevant scenarios. What do we mean scenarios? You bring out what if, or if this is so, or if we are doing this, you bring out some of those variables. So you check those variables. So it's easier for you when you go back to the field during the feasibility study to know exactly some of the scenarios. Like when we give an example of the difference between feasibility study and the business plan, we're saying that a feasibility study is when you go and identify a space that you want to build your house at. Whereas the business plan is like your architectural plan or design of the house, right? So when you want to do a pre-feasibility study in that instance, is for you to know that, okay, I want to live in this area. Is it going to be a cold area? It's going to be a hot area? It's going to be a rowdy area? Do I like rowdy places, or I like a very quiet place, or I don't like quiet place? Some people are used to, they prefer where it's rowdy, they come out, they see lots of vehicles, people moving. And then some people know they want to stay in a quiet place where they hear only sounds of birds chirping in the morning and all of that. So now all of that is pre-feasibility study, right? Is when you get there to do the feasibility study, you will now come in the morning to check whether birds chirp, and then you come in the evening to see if you want a rowdy place, to see whether there are lots of vehicles moving around, right? So that's the advice I promised that I'll give on how to go about feasibility. So the next thing is, let's go into the components, the minimum things I will expect when I see your feasibility study. I will expect 6 things at minimum, right? The first one is description of the business. Second one is market feasibility. Third one is technical feasibility. Fourth one is financial feasibility, and then the fifth one is organizational feasibility, and then the last one is a conclusion. So when I pick your feasibility study, I should be able to see this thing. All right, it might not be necessarily me, because maybe I don't have money to give you, or cash to give you, or I don't have money to invest in your business. But whoever the investor is, if he picks your feasibility study, you should see this thing. And the table could turn around sometime. You may have made so much profit in your business. Now you want to invest somewhere, you want to diversify. So you're going to ask someone to bring his feasibility study. So when the people bring their feasibility study for you to invest in their business, you will want to check whether some of these elements have been. Right. So the first one, we said describe the business, what's the idea, just give us the model, give us what you want to do. Let us know exactly what your business is about. You want to sell sachet water, you want to sell face masks, you want to make chairs, you want to cultivate maize, you want to cultivate beans, any of that. So that's what we want to see, a full description of it in number one. Number two, 3, 4, 5, they are like an easy way to remember them is to say M. 4 times, not the other one, not the scandal, not the Ponzi scheme that stopped at 3. This one is M. What's the M for? 4 places. The first one is market, the second one is material, the third one is money, and then the fourth one is man. Right? So we say market, material, money, and man. Those are the areas you use your normal sense to check. So feasibility is the market feasibility. You give us a description of the industry. What's an industry? Industry is the number of people producing the same item. So talk about your market. Is it agro industry? Is it banking industry? Is it interior design industry? Is it the building industry? All of that is an industry, right? An industry will have segments, right, where some people specialize in certain things. So like if you say automotive industry, that's the whole things about vehicle, trailer, all of them. So you could have sections. Sections could be the truck, section could be those, even the tire, those in the automotive aspect of it, the segment that deals with tire. All right. So have you understood that now? We expect you to talk about, describe the whole industry you're going into in general. Talk about the current market. When you say current market, what did I say market is? Market is people that will buy. Talk about the people that will buy. Talk about the people that will buy in future. You know, the people that are buying now, most of them may be between, if I'm selling a particular item, the people that are buying now might be between age of 12 and age of 15 and 30, right? In the next 20 years, those people will now be in the oldest will be in 50s, right? And then some of them that were maybe 15, if I add 20, that's the person is already 35. And so the person's taste would have changed. Most of them married, most of them have children, not the other time that they're moving around, humping, and traveling everywhere. So now when they have children, they may not be able to travel everywhere because what they now have responsibility of doing school runs. I think that's what they call it, carrying children to school in the morning and then carrying them in the evening. All right. Okay, so we say if you need to sell to some people, you need to know what they need now and what they'll need in future. And then talk about competition. Talk about sales projection. Sales projection is how many items are we going to sell? And then I've mentioned potential buyer. Okay, that's it for market feasibility. Then the next one is technical feasibility, or operating feasibility, or the technology you need. What we're saying here is talk generally about the things that can make business work, the machines that you need, the skills, special skills that you need, the special tools that you need. Maybe you need bots and all that. That's what you want to talk about. We say here details of how you would deliver a product, right? That is the materials that you're going to use, the labor, the transport, where your business will be located, the technology you will need. That's under the technicalities of the business. Then you go to the financials of the business. Financials is essentially linking money to the market feasibility, linking money to things you have in the technical feasibility, linking money to things you have in the organizational feasibility, and then talking about the total amount you need to start the business. Where are you going to get the money? Today, yeah, this one is from Niger Microfinance. When your business gets very big and you need like 50 million, 100 million, yeah, Niger Microfinance may not be available for that. You need to approach another organization for that size of money. And so that's where we are saying sources of capital. Then the other one is, yeah, you have gotten money. You have put the money in your business. We want to know how you're going to return that money. How much you're going to get on that money. It's important. Right, then the next one is organizational feasibility. We want to talk about the legal structure, the corporate structure, the organizational structure on ground, the professionals that you have, the people that will be coming in with their skills and all of that. These are the things we want you to talk about. The organizational feasibility. Then conclusion. Give us a conclusion and be honest with your conclusion. Remember, you're submitting this document to investors. Some of them have even attempted the business before. Some of them are careful. Some of them they are the ones parting with the money, so they want to look at it carefully. Once you are honest, they will know because the figures, your description, the things that you say in the right of the wall agree. All right, let me throw more light on the M 4 times, and then I can close this section. I know I'm taking it. Okay. All right, let's say what we have here. What we have here is under the market analysis, right? First, target the population. When you take the population, break this population into groups or segments. You might break them using gender, you might break them into you want to sell to male or you want to sell to girls. Or you could look at class in terms of income, those that earn so much money, those that earn small money, or age. I've been discussing age since. All right, then you look for a strategy of how you to penetrate or to reach any of these groups, right? And then the next one, you look at the competition. How many, do a competitive analysis. How many people are your competition? How many people are competing with? What is their strength? What's their weakness? What's their opportunity? And importantly, what's their challenge? Maybe the challenge they are facing, you might have a way of going around it. Okay, then like I said, the next thing is technical analysis, your equipment, your location, who your suppliers are, what your raw materials are, and then where will you be getting your raw materials from? It seems someone doesn't like this screen anymore. There are lots of write-up on this screen. You don't like it? Well, even if you don't like it, there appear reasonable. Okay, we will find a way of clearing the screen here. Financial analysis, recall I said it deals with what you're trying to um, relate money to the market side and to the financial side, right? So when you are relating money to the technical side, like the equipment, how much will it cost, the raw material, how much, salaries and wages for how much, and then you let us know what's the unit cost of your item, multiply by the number of items that you think you can sell, and that should give us your annual sales. Right, the last one is it involves the questions such as whether the system has enough support to be implemented successfully. That is, what if it's an existing business? Do you have something on ground that will help the new business you are bringing, or you have an organizational structure that can help your business? And if it's going to bring in change, will you have ways of solving it? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll soon enter the next one. We're going to take a break now. We'll take a break from the first module. And while I'm at this break, I will expect you to quickly answer these questions in the chat, right? Answer these questions in the chat. How do you answer it? You go to the chat, you write number one, put full stop, and then write the answer. Should every business have a feasibility plan? You write the answer, whether yes, no. And then number two, you say, what is the relevance or importance of a feasibility plan? Just write number two and then write what you think. Number three, from this lesson, from the discussion, which aspect of the feasibility plan can you prepare? You can say, okay, all. And then from which aspect would you need help with that? You say none. Okay, but if the answer to the first one is you can do the first two, then you will now say, okay, you need help in the third, on the fourth, and all of that, right? Okay, let me see your answers in the chat while I watch you. We'll take it as our break time. Okay, I'm back again. I I was expecting lots of answers in the chat. Nobody is answering the last question. Okay, maybe you will answer it someday. Even if you don't answer it, no problem, no problem, no problem. Let's go ahead. Let's go to the next section. Section two. That's what business plan. Oh, I've seen one answer. Let me see. Okay, Joshua said yes. Okay, that's number one. Yes. Right. For number two, number three. What are the answers to number four? Okay, good. Let's go to business plan itself. Business plan, right? We'll be discussing 7 items under business plan. So 7 items under business plan. That's what we'll be discussing. What are these sections? The first one is executive summary, business description and mission statement, business concept, strategy, value, proposition. 4, market summary and competition. 5, competitive advantage, what and risk. Number 6 is resource planning and then the team that we'll be using. Number 7, the financial projection. So these topics that you're seeing here are almost what we need to see. What we're going to see in your what do we say? What we're going to see in your business plan. There could be topics in your business plan, but at minimum, this is what we should see. Meaning that you should have most of these things in your business plan. So as you begin writing your business plan, we are going to see, I'm going to explain what and what and what from number 1 to 7 we expect to see. Some people are talking to us in the chat. Let's see them. Okay, I'm getting answers. Oh, I thought they were not answering me. This must be network that slowed them down. Okay, yes. Importance is to guide against business failure. All aspects except number 4. Number 4, all aspects 4. No, okay, okay. The person can prepare all the 4 aspects. To understand how the business will operate and how to source the fund and utilize the resources, it's an overview of the profitability, sustainability of the business. Great. All great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, number 1, yes, it makes one know the knowledge regarding the very business. Yeah, all and none. Okay, great. Great. All right, let's go to what the business plan is. Right, the first one is what we say executive summary. What's your executive summary? That's what we're saying. Executive summary is a summary of the whole business plan. We want to see a summary of the whole business plan. And somebody is saying, why am I discussing summary when I've not even discussed it? It's because that's where we want to see it. What you do is that don't start the executive summary. Finish the whole write-up. Then come and do the executive summary. But when you are done with the executive summary, place it at the top of the business plan. That's all. Right, what should I see in the executive summary? Is summary of the whole work. What should it look like? It should be colorful. It should be catchy. It should be something that will catch the attention of any executive that wants to, okay, hey, let me look at this. We're not saying put few facts that are not real. Just put something that is catchy. And another catch there is, for me, this is my own personal recommendation. Make it just 1 page. Let's not exceed 1 page. Some people say 2 pages, 3, fine. It could go to 2 pages, but here's my candid advice: just keep it at 1 page. That's what executives want to read. They want to just see your page. That's all. They take a decision or pass it to their personal assistant to read thoroughly. Okay. The next one, which should be ordinary, would have been the first item, is the description of your business. So this time around, I want to see, oh, the business is registered with CAC, the pioneer is Mr. This, Mr. That, is located at this and that. And then when you do the general description, you go into why are you in existence? Why is the business in existence? What's the purpose of the business? So that's what we refer to as mission. We want you to state the mission, say the objective of the business. So when you have described the objective, you can come back and state the mission. How do you state the mission? Or you state the mission and then you can go into the objective of the business. We say when you're stating the mission, what is the keyword at the back of your mind? The keyword at the back of your mind is what do I say? The reason for existence, the purpose of existence. Okay, the guiding rule is this: clearly states, you can see it black, white on black background. You say clearly state your company's long-term mission. Try to use words that will help direct the growth of your company, or be as concise as possible. Next, here we'll talk about what we want to talk about a business concept or strategy, and we'll talk about a value proposition. So we want to see your strategy. Strategy is how you intend to allocate resources to achieve the opportunities, to best to maximize your what you are bringing in, and how you intend to face challenges. That's essentially your strategy. And like if you recall in the other section, we say strategy is essentially how you intend to do your business. And then the other thing that we want to see here is your business concept. How best do I describe a business concept or model? A business model, you remember Chinemerem and Joy, you know they have two different concepts of business model. One was selling on credit, the other one sells only on cash. These are two business concepts. Okay, let me bring another example of the concept now. Goes into taxi, the taxi business. You will see that the taxi business before, what we're doing in the taxi business is you buy a taxi, you buy a number of taxis, you put advert for drivers, they come, you give them the vehicle, and then they go scout around for their passengers, they come back and return something to you. That's the other model, that's the traditional model that we've been using. But these days, taxi business has a different model, the model that you have from Uber, Taxify, Bolt. What they do this time around, they don't buy no taxi, they don't hire no driver. They just look for passengers and then give them to you. Who has whoever the taxi man has who has registered with them. That's a different model from the other model, or different concept from the other concept. So in your business now, I want to see what your concept is. Describe it. Show us your concept, and then show us a strategy of how you want to do it. And then the last thing is in this section is we want to see your value proposition. You have to give us a proposition. You have to propose to us. When you're proposing to us, the customer, you have to propose a value to us. It's like proposing to a lady. When you're proposing to a lady, what are the key things? It's not just I want to marry you. No, that's not the important thing. You think it's I want to marry you that she's saying yes. No, she's not saying yes to that. She's saying yes to the things that you have attempted to offer. What are the things that you have offering, or the things you're offering? Some of the things you're offering is what you think that you're going to give that someone else is not going to give. All right, so in business, you also propose to your customers, you also do a value proposition to them, you propose certain value to them. What are these values that you can propose to your customer? You have to reduce your value or look around how to walk around giving your customers value by in form of one, efficiency, quality, and cost. How do you do cost? Cost is you attempt to try to source your input or your raw material from the least cost possible places. And then speed, you look for ways of seeing how you can get your product to your customers as fast as possible. Maybe you use dispatch riders and any of these business going on. Quality, you try not to compromise quality. Efficiency, maybe you bring in products that they can use that would maybe if you are into bakery, you prefer flour that can allow the dough to rise or something. Any of those things. So you sit down, think of the value you're proposing. Your value proposition could be you're going to give great customer service. It might not necessarily be something that you can afford. Want to see all of that in this section in your business. Next thing. All right, the market summary and competition. I'm back to competition again. I'm back to market summary again. And I told you what market is. Market is the number of people that buy from you. So tell us what the whole market looks like. That is number of people that buy the product. This time, not your market. Number of people that buy the product. So people that buy the product in the past, people that buy the product in the present, people that will buy the product in the future. All right, go ahead and do reviews. Write long prose. Sometimes people don't read it, but sometimes somebody wants to put it in such a way that it will be catchy, right? Catchy in the sense that you want to see what are the changes in this market share. When you say market share, that's your own share. That's the number of people that are buying from you. That's your own market share. The whole market is the number of people that buy the things, but your own market share, your own share, that's the people that are buying from you is the market, your own market share. And then there are some people that most people buy from. That those are the guys we refer to as the leaders in the market. And most people buy from them. And then you can talk about the shift. Today, somebody might be a leader for 5 years. Somebody else can topple him and all of that. Like I learned that, I don't know how true, I heard that in Abuja and its environment, one of the chief bakers used to be Imperial Bakery, right? They say they sell most, people buy them more than any other bread. I don't know today. We have other great competitors that have come on ground like Oak. I used to think it's a ground square bread, but somebody said that they were not selling what Imperial used to sell. Uh, Somebody else said that they're about the leader in the market. What about Next Cash and Carry? All of that. That you just have to show us, review the market, and tell us. Tell us about the competition. Tell us what's going on in the market. That's what we want to see here. And after you have said all this history, we will not let you go. Tell us what opportunity. So you can say, okay, you're going to leave right now that Imperial is not the leader. You want to become the leader, or now that you know that Imperial is the leader, you want to tour along what model Imperial is. All that's what we want to see in this section. Advantage. What's that? What do you have that your competitors don't have? That's your competitive advantage. How do you get it? You should have unique resources, something that is your own, and you should have core competence and the ability to use resources. When you combine unique resources and core competence together, you will most likely get what we refer to as well, your competitive advantage. Your competitive advantage, once it's equal to replicate or imitate, it becomes a sustainable competitive advantage. Like I ask people to go think carefully to come up with a competitive advantage, something they have, others don't have. Some people are struggling. How do we get to do that? I said, look, my friend, there are two things. Read, research, think carefully, pray for inspiration, and you'll get it. Or simply go and imitate other competitive advantage that others have. Anyone you can imitate. Strategy. Because somebody's going to try to imitate your own. Right, so that's the world of business. That's how it goes. There's no monopoly of knowledge, no monopoly of inspiration. But you should have a competitive advantage. And we want to see what your competitive advantage is. Describe it. All right, talk about your SWOT. SWOT is strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat, right? Your strength and your weaknesses, that one has to do with your company specifically. Company, what goes on in your company. That's what we refer to as your strength and your weakness. In your company, what are the things you have others don't have? Or what are the things that you know you are good at? That's your strength. What are the things that are your problems? Those are your weaknesses. Maybe staff don't stay. You have lots of staff turnover. They come, they work, they go. You, despite good salary you are paying, or bakery. Okay, bakery. Maybe you need to sell your product early in the morning, so you have to bake as early as 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. Getting staff to come to work at that time might be an issue, is a weakness, or you need to bake in the evening. Uh, all of that. That's what we want to see. Then the other one is opportunities and threats. Opportunities and threats are things that are in the external environment, things that you don't really have control about, like the whole economy is the post opportunities or the post threat. One common example could be you are dealing in things for old people and you're living in a town where all the old people are dying off quickly. It's a threat to your business, and that has nothing to do with your internal business, right? Then if you are in a business where you import things, now the dollar is changing adversely. You need to get foreign exchange, you need to get dollar to import. That's also a threat. It's not something within your company. In the same way, those of us that will want to go into farming, if we are going into farming of produce that will be exported, you will also realize that that's an opportunity because your inflow, when you change it to Naira, is going to give you a big money. That's all we want you to write. How do you do this? What? Write S, write strength, list them. Write W, write weakness, list them. Write opportunity, write opportunity, list them. And then P, threat, list them. That's it. Risk. Oh, yes. Those of you that were at the beginning of the class, we started by talking about risk. Oh, what does the W stand for? The W stands for weakness. W stands for weaknesses. I say S for strength, W for weakness, O for opportunities, and T for threats. While your strength and weakness is internal to your organization, your opportunities and threats are external things, that factors that are outside your influence. of, that you cannot. All right, risk. At the beginning of the class, if you were here, we mentioned risk. We said all business face risk. Risk is probability of something occurring, right? We live in a world of probability. There is no guarantee that tomorrow is going to be hot or cold, or tomorrow is going to be windy or not windy. You don't have all those factors. You don't have all those controls. So all of them they are probability, and they also affect our business. Tomorrow people might come out, tomorrow people might not come out. Tomorrow people might get tested, tomorrow they might not be tested. So all of these are risks. So your business will definitely face risk. And what we are saying here is identify this risk. Give us an assessment of this risk and show us how you intend to control the risk. So three things here: identify risks, assess them, and control them. Identify risks, assess them, and control them. Identify risks, assess them. So under identification, you can choose to list your risk, and the business will likely face this type of risk. And then you go and then do a risk profiling, list out the effects the risk will have on the business, and then go and list out how you intend to control them, how you intend to mitigate them. One of the common framework we use in mitigating risk, we say the TARA framework, T-A-R-E. You transfer the risk, maybe insurance. You could even avoid the risk, not even go near it. Then another one could be accepting the risk. That's common to avoiding the risk. And we also have R. You can reduce the risk by putting up structures that will help the risk. Then another one is if I avoid that's the one we say we don't even do it at all. Then accepting is you go into the risk, you see the risk, but you do that reasonably, of course. All right, so because you want to do all of that, we want to see it. We know that the risk exists, so don't go and hide that. Oh no, my business is risk-free, or no, I've prayed about the business. Yes, you have prayed about the business, but because you have prayed about this business, what kind of prayer did you say about your business? Because we say risk is both adverse and favorable. So if you pray that the business should grow beyond what you expect, then you have also prayed for risk. That's what we're asking you to analyze. Okay. What next? All right. Resource planning. Okay, we have two more things to go, and then see the time. I hope we'll be able to meet the 12. Yeah, great. We'll be able to meet leaving here 12. Remember my quiz after the section comes. The quiz will be for either 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You attempt it and try to make me happy. If you score high, it means you listen. I know some of you have internet challenge is going all out, in, and all of that, but let's just go ahead. We say resource planning. You have to plan your technology. You have to plan your finances. You have to plan the people. Generally, planning is we want you to schedule out what you intend to do. Equipment to come in this time, equipment to be commissioned this time. That's just is all about planning. Plan the whole how the business is going to begin and how it's going to kickstart. When you're going to test your product, what kind of marketing training you're going to give, all of that is what we're saying. Under this resource planning, key one is the team. We need the team. We need to know about the team that you're going to use. The team that you're going to use, we want you to list their names or their position. List the expected qualification they should have. Qualification is not so important in practical, but let's see their experience. That's the other column. Show me their experience. And the last column, which will be also important, that's the fourth column, is write the things that they have achieved for several places, accolades that they have had, what they have done, so that it will help us know that they have a good grip of it. And under this one, draw who is going to report to who is going to head who, like an organogram. Let's see it so that we know that you have structured the business. And then we'll come to the last one. This is the one people find a little bit tough. They find it tough. I don't know why some people find it tough, but it's actually a tough one. Maybe that's why people find it tough. I'm saying the same thing. Okay. The issue here is that this time around you're dealing with money, you're dealing with figures, and you're dealing with so much probability, things that you can't say for sure. So that's why this section is called. We refer to it as a financial projection. So before you go into the financial projection, or the financial projection is a summary of what you think is going to happen in future. So we've made all of you prophets, right? The first thing is, before you tell us about your projection, your prophecies or something about the future, we need you to tell us an assumption. What were the assumptions that you're making? Assumptions could include, okay, we expect that rent should be like this. We expect that raw material price should be this. We expect that tax rate should be this. Those are the assumptions that you need to write. We expect that we'll be able to sell at this price. So that when you have all those assumptions, when we go into your financial model, or we go into your financial projection, we now know how you're able to arrive at that. If you say you make sales of 60 million, well, now I want to know, how did you arrive at 60 million? You say, okay, your sales will be 5 million per month. How did you arrive at 5 million per month? You say, okay, you're going to sell 2.5 million items at 2 naira. You see, these are assumptions. How did you arrive at 2 naira? You say, okay, yes, I'm buying the item for 1 naira, I won't sell at 1 naira. That's all. That's not the assumption. And because it's so detailed, that's why you see it consumes time and takes people's time. So what we wrote here, we say, outline a high-level financial plan that defines your financial model or and your pricing. Okay, I'm going to try to illustrate a little what your projections look like. The projection is going to be a summary on this page, but this summary must have a detail because we say it's a summary. So the summary is going to be cash flow projection summary. Once see it, so you put it in the appendix. So that when we see a figure in the financial projection, we refer to the appendix and see the detail. So let me show you quickly how we put this particular. I'll show you in three layouts how you can do it. Those of you that are good with Excel, use your Excel. Those of you that don't like Excel, Microsoft Excel, take out your paper, draw the columns, write the figures, add them up using calculator, and then you can transfer them to your system, type them out, or you give someone to put them in Excel for you, right? Excel has its own advantage, but if you don't know Excel, it doesn't mean you cannot go ahead with your business. Right, let's look at it. On this place, you can go back and look at it. I just gave you some of the things that we should see also in your business plan. All right, so let's look at these definitions. Once we post the what's it called, this presentation, you can go ahead and look at it. Read it up. All right, here is the layout I'm talking about. I said we need about 3 of these layouts. This is the first one. Let me use my water to describe it. The first one will be like a tap, putting water here, right? And then the second one will be like when you have a tap that this thing is coming out through, right? And then the third one will be the balance of water left in this glass. Okay, so the first one here, divided into columns. All of them are divided into this column. The first column is a description. You can see it, description here of what we have. And the second column and the third column are for periods. So in this first column, income, anything that brings money in. So sales will bring money in, loan will bring money in. Then you give us a total of, right? Give us a total of these things. The period could be weeks, months, or most of the time people use months. So all your inflow, what kind of inflow are you expecting? Sales, loan, receipt from debtors, people that are owing you, and all of that. And the total of it. So you add all of it here and put the total. Then the second section, like I described this section, is like water pouring into the cup, right? All right. Let's look at the one that takes water out of the cup. We call it what expenditure, outflow. It follows the same design to description, period. But we will see the items of the expenditure, such as purchases of raw material, purchases of raw material, wages and salary, rent, insurance, what do local government taxes, all of that, you put them there, and then show us the total. The two together, right? The first one and then the second one, right? The first layout and the second layout. But this time around, I've put some hypothetical figure. We say sales 6,000, you got a loan of 1,000. So what you got in January is 1,006. Then what you spent in January, you bought 800 purchases, you paid salary of 400, that's 1,000. Right, that takes us to the third one. That's the what is left in the class, right? That's the third layout. So it to follow the same design, right? Follow the same design. Okay, here is our third one. Following the same design of period here, January, February, and then description. So here, let's describe it. You see total income, I've left opening balance. Total income is 1,006. You saw it in that place. 1,000 loans, 606. Total expenditure is 1,002. Purchases 800 plus, I think, purchases, wages, yeah, 400. All right, so this and this, what's the difference? You got 1,006, you spend 1,002, you are left with 400. What did you have on hand, or what were you having? Sorry. What were you having on hand when you started in the beginning of the month? You had 300 naira. So 300 plus this 400, it gives us 700. So you have 700 at the end of January. So at the beginning of February, what will you have? It's definitely what you had at the end of January. So that's it. And that's how you continue projecting. However, what I just explained is quite simple. It's not that simple in practice. Here are some of the issues you are going to face. What if you don't have 300 here at all? You don't have anything to start it. So you make sales of 1,6, you make expenditure of 1,2, you have 400 balance. So what will it take to the next period? It's the same 400. What if you made sales of only 1,000 here, or income is 1,000, only loan, no sale? You want to spend 1,002. Yeah, you could take the 200 from this opening, this money you brought into the business. What if you didn't bring any money into the business? So you can't spend 1,002 from 1,000. So we'll say if this were 1,000. So what do? You move 200 to this other period. So those are some of the issues that we can have. But when we want to know whether your business is not doing well at all, is when you do this projection and all we are getting here is negative. Maybe you have 1,002 here, you have 1,006, negative 400, negative February, another negative, and the negative continues like that. We ask you to review, to take a careful look at your cash flow again. This is your layout, and see if everything is in order. If everything is in order and it's not minus, it means your business is not feasible. That's why we describe what feasible business is from the beginning. So you take another look at it and see. Sometimes it could be negative, negative, negative for even 6 months until the 7th month, maybe you make sales. Like in farming, you make one big sales and to cover up all. So that doesn't mean your business is not feasible. Your business is still feasible. It's just that your business, that's how it operates. Meaning that the money you need from January to February, we say somebody has to provide it, either in form of loan. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. We've come to the end of this section. What I need you to do now is the questions that you have on the chat, or shortly we're going to unmute everyone so that you can ask your question and we'll react to it. By the way, we are going to post the lecture quiz now. We'll put it on the Zoom chat. We'll also put it on the WhatsApp chat so that you attempt it for us now. We will see on the scoreboard here how we have fared. I really appreciate all those in class, those that have used their name to discuss, and any other place that have, any other person I have used to discuss. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. We will mute you now. And right away, we'll be posting these slides now to the WhatsApp group so that for reference purposes at any other time. Gentlemen, ladies, have a beautiful day. Ask our technical team to quickly unmute everyone now so we can get your question. And watch out for the chat. On the chat, you can see on the chat we have posted the post lecture quiz. Attempt it from there or go and attempt it from the WhatsApp. Right? Attempt it there or go to attempt it from the WhatsApp chat. We'll be seeing your answers here. Right, so I'm ready now to take questions. So I'm going to shut now, and then I'll try to see how we can post this slide. So I'm going to shut now. Listen. All right, it seems there's no question for me. I'll just be waiting. I want to also assume that you're already answering. Okay, you're already answering. We have set the module, that's the training slide, posted them to the WhatsApp chat now. You should get it shortly. You should get it anytime. And the link to the YouTube is also there for those of you that want to do it. So, okay, someone is trying to talk in the background. I can't hear.
Yes. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Just a moment. Oh, okay. All right, I can hear you now.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
yes, hello, sir. Yeah, my name is hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, can I?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. The component of feasibility study.
The line is breaking, but I think you are saying what I can hear faintly here is components of feasibility study, right? If that's exactly what you're saying, we are saying there are 4 items.
Five. There are about 5 or 6 items under organizational feasibility. How does it also include the experience of the founder,
Define
the technical knowledge of the founder?
Okay. Unfortunately, the internet at one of our end is not okay. I can hardly hear you. It's breaking. You type the chat.
Okay.
I had no problem. All right. Okay. Divine Oga is raising his or her hand. Her hand. Okay. Divine is the lady. Sorry. Okay. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question. Let me go to the chat and see if anyone has typed anything there in form of a question. Okay. No question for me in the chat. Divine is raising her hand. Unmute yourself and ask your question or say what you want to say.
Hi. Good afternoon.
I'm having difficulty hearing Divine.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me now? Can you...
Yeah.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was battling with my device. I can't connect. I connect very late. So I don't know how I'm going to do about it. The lecture, is there any way I can get it?
Yes. There are two ways you can get it. You get the summary of the lecture, which is presented in a slide format in a Microsoft PowerPoint, right? We have already posted it on the WhatsApp chat, right? It's there right now. You can go through it. That's one. Then the second way is that we have also put a link. You can go to the YouTube and listen to all that we have been discussing from beginning till now. You can even hear yourself your question on the YouTube as well. So those are the two other options. The third one, which is this Zoom now, is going to come to an end shortly, and you might not be able to interact with us live anymore. All right, thank you very much for this section. We will be waiting for your answers to the quiz. Like we said, chat. So on this note, it's already okay. We thank you very much for all those of you that participated in the class. I appreciate you. It's already 12 noon. We'll be waiting for your scores on our dashboard here. Take your time to answer the questions for us. If you answer now, we'll see it now. I'll be glad. But we can't just, we don't want to just sit and wait for your answers. So we'll close the class now and expect your answers at any other time. I really appreciate all of you and do have a very lovely afternoon.